It's in there, there's another article here somewhere. Kathleen Ferrazzo is going to speak tonight on the biomat, Ridgeway Amethyst biomat, and thermal therapeutic cancer answer, and discussions on the health benefits of long-wave infrared rays and negative ions.
Okay. I've been here before. There's no familiar faces anyway. Just basically my practice, I've had it for 15 years, private practice here in Pennsylvania, and I work as a natural health consultant. So we're advisors in that. We set programs for people. We do a lot of research work, all what's new in the field. And this actually is relatively new, but it's actually quite old too as well, about 100 million years old too, exactly. So this is designed by the Japanese. And we can all benefit from this because we live in a very wonderful area of our country. We are amethyst rich too as well. Now the healing properties of amethyst, the history of amethyst go way back to the Greeks, actually ancient Greece. They believed it prevented intoxication. So they literally would take their glasses and stud them with amethyst and drop pieces of amethyst right in their wines. They might have prevented intoxication, but most of them died of lead poisoning to some of the other contaminants that were in their glasses. But anyway, the amethyst was believed to prevent intoxication, and as well, it had a great deal of healing and therapeutic benefit. And that is known worldwide, too, as well. I'll just pass it on to the samples. This is all local amethyst. I'm sure you know that. Oh, I've got tons. Isn't it beautiful? I've got tons too. I should go on and pass them around too. This one's a polished one. Okay, the Japanese about 40 years ago developed a research project, and they kept very quiet about it. And it was the study, basically, of negative ions, long wave infrared, how to work with a combination of the two. And there was two major breakthroughs with, one was with NASA, and NASA are the ones that really targeted long-wave infrared. In fact, they're the ones that discovered it too as well. And basically, any surface can give off long-wave infrared. It actually has to do with temperature. So they designed fabrics that they put in insulation for the spacesuits that the astronauts use. And it had a combination of fibers in there, and what they used actually was a compound of alumina and silica, and it would convert any normal energy into far infrared rays in actually the most efficient manner you could at room temperature. So you didn't really need a heat source in order to do it. So the Japanese rubbed their little hands over that one because that took their research even further. And then there were two German physiologists that won actually the Nobel Prize in work with negative ions. And they actually proved a lot of the theories that were existing in the scientific world at the time. So the Japanese could finally complete their research. And what they came up with is this. If you all want to come up and take a good look at this right now, and I'll explain it to you. Okay, this is a Ridgeway biomat. And basically, how the research works is that in our air right now, inside air, there is approximately 100 to 200 little negative ions floating around in each little cubic centimeter of airspace that we cannot see with our naked eye. If you step outside, there's about anywhere to 200 to 500. If you drive out of the city and go out near a lake somewhere, or open air, open fields, there's a lot of open space, you're up to maybe 1,000, 500 to 1,000. What happens is that because of all the electromagnetic discharge that comes off of our appliances, computers, and everything else, you get a lot of disruption to the negative ion. So people say, okay, what does a negative ion do? Well, our cells can't function without them. It is backwards to how we usually look at things. Mostly we say oh, I want to be really positive about something. But in this case, it's actually the reverse. It's negative ions that our cells need. Now, in order for us to function at optimum, we need a negative ionic field inside our cells and outside our cells. And it has to be in balance, all right, for everything to work. So what that does is it actually helps the body absorb nutrition and to expel any waste products. Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of negative ions anymore with more satellites in space and microwave patterns bouncing all over the place to wherever we go. We are surrounded by positive ions, which are useless to us. They cause a great deal of damage and the disruptive electromagnetic discharges, which disperse the ions. Now, the other thing is the absorption factor, is that when we walk outside in winter, the only way we're getting any of the negative ions is through our face and through our breathing, too. So the absorption factor is really bad. The Japanese discovered that when you wear synthetic clothing, such as most people do wear, especially in winter time too as well, that what happens is that the negative ions cannot pass through all the synthetic clothing that people are wearing. So really, you think, oh, I'm out there getting good fresh air, but you're really not absorbing that much of it too as well. So basically, they worked for 40 years to develop this. So what you have here, you have a converter. This is what it's slapped on, that's a converter. This is an AC current that comes from the wall. An AC current is highly damaging to the human body. It disrupts our vibrational flow of all our cells. Highly disruptive to general concentration, the electromagnetic field, which discharge all our appliances. What happened is that the Japanese, with their wisdom, put a converter in here, so it changes it to a DC current, which harmonizes with the human body. All right, so it's changed to a DC current. What it does is it actually has heating elements that go right through the pad. There are 17 layers of fabric in here, too. And the inner core is all the same material that they use in the spacesuits. It has a carbon base because they need to work with a carbon base. It blocks any harmful aspects of the long-wave infrared. What happens is the combination of the heat element going through here and the creation of the far infrared light comes into the fabric and it starts to make a negative ionic field all the way down here. There are two panels that operate. You can see here the left and the right panel here. So they didn't stop there. They realized there has to be something with the delivery system to really get the benefit of the negative ions into the body. And they tried everything. They tried glass. The original biomat was made with jade. They found it worked sort of, not good enough. Finally, they used amethyst. And amethyst was amazing. As soon as they used the amethyst, it has the ability now to take the long-wave infrared plus the negative ionic field and push it 6 to 8 inches into the body all the way through. So you get infused with it. This is like taking a bath, okay, in complete negative ions too as well. It takes, basically when you turn this on, it takes a good 35 minutes to heat up. It was still warm from behind. I kind of whipped it out from underneath and said, gotta go. Okay, so this is a professional model. This is used in treatments. Any additional things were done with the client, like say if you went to have a massage treatment and you were on a biomat, it would work much deeper in the body. So basically, the big question is, what does it have to do with cancer and that? Very prominent man, used to be the director of one of the main hospitals in Japan. He wrote a book, and basically it is a cancer answer. It's the fourth treatment for medical refugees, the ones that can't find an answer to, or tired of people telling them we're going to cut it out, burn it out, or poison it out, too. And he developed basically thermal therapy. He wrote the book on it, too, as well. So in Japan, if you went and you developed cancer, they would offer you thermal therapy. And basically, as with any healing mode that you take, it does put the body slightly through a healing crisis. So you do find the symptoms of whatever you have kind of, they get enhanced as it comes to the surface too as well.